Well, here is a garden update from Nashville, Tennessee. Steve Hall here. And some of this stuff is doing real good, and I do have a few issues. In fact, some people even ask me about it. Why do some of the branches turn brown on their tomato plants? And the answer is, I don't know. But I'll bet my brother Larry Hall does. If you go to Larry Hall Rain Gutter Grow System on YouTube and send him some questions like that, he will answer them. But one thing I have discovered is I go in here, and when I find like a dried branch like this and I cut it off, I nip it off and then leave the main stalk, which is nice and green. Here's a perfect example. This doesn't really have any blooms on it. Now these over here, I cut a lot of this stuff off, and holy mackerel, everything is developing blooms at the top now for more tomatoes. Lots and lots of yellow blooms for more tomatoes. I mean, now they're really coming on again like gangbusters. So I don't know. I have seen some people that got gardens and it almost looks like their tomato plant looks like a stick going up. They've cut off every branch that doesn't have something to do with a tomato growing, and it generates all the energy and all the growth to the tomato itself. Now we got clusters and clusters and clusters of tomatoes, as you see, so that's not an issue, and we're getting great growth there, so that's not a problem. But the brown branches, I guess, are just either annoying, or I'm doing something wrong, or it needs some, potassium or lime, or maybe it needs some fertilizer. I don't know what it is. Kind of like it outgrew itself. It took off so nuts and so crazy that once it got up and sunshine hit all the top stuff, that maybe the bottom part is just starving for sunlight. I don't know. But I think my son Stevie, his is, and I might be in sunlight too much, because I'm just right here just being pounded down by the sunlight all day long. So, but these blackberries, oh man, look at these big juicy blackberries that I'm getting. I mean, they are all over. I must have 6 or 7 quarts now, and look at them. They're just coming in just big clusters, and we pick them every day. Let me pick this one here. It's just too ripe to stand it. Nice big blackberries. Excuse me. Oh, that's delicious. Now, one thing you'll find out about blackberries and about raspberries is the first year, when they grow up, they don't produce any fruit. The second year, they go nuts like this. So, same thing with new growth. We picked all the little blueberries off this small growth down here, but these new shoots, all these big tall, this is all new stuff coming in that doesn't put any berries out this year. But next year, man, it'll be just hanging with blueberries. Let me give you another example. I bought some raspberries at the nursery, and they already had little red raspberries on them. And if they got that, go ahead and buy them, take them home and plant them, and pick all the berries off when they get nice and ripe, and then cut off the brown stick that was producing those berries. And I did, and man, look at all the new growth. This is all just, once I cut, here's a perfect example. This is an old brown stick here that I cut off. This used to be, 2 feet tall and covered with raspberries. We ate the raspberries till they were all gone. Then I cut that stick off, and here come all that other growth. Even pruning back, because we're on a dock here at a marina, these grow out in everybody's way, so I cut this off right here. And where I cut it off, look at this. On both sides of where I cut it off, look at the new growth sprouting out here and here. So you can actually train them to grow. In other words, when they get way out here, just cut them off, and they'll start coming out of the side of the branches and make yourself a nice little round raspberry plant exactly where you want it. See, like these here, these are starting to get way out here hanging over the walkway. So I'll go back about a foot and cut them off, and man, they'll immediately start sticking out some new sprouts. Perfect example. I cut this one off right here. I don't know if you can see him. Let me get him up in the sunlight. I whacked that off right there, and immediately this thing came out, and look at that. There's new growth right. It just, you can't stop that, It's amazing. But you notice all this new growth, no berries. Next year it'll be covered with raspberries. So always know that when you get all that growth going, it doesn't produce any blackberries. Let me give you another example here. These are the blackberry plants that are just, we've been picking and picking and picking. And down in this big grow bag down here, out of it all of a sudden came a little shoot. You can't see it in behind there, but up it came, and now look at it. This is a brand new blackberry shoot, just like these big ones over here, and growing like crazy right alongside the other main stalk. No berries on it whatsoever, but next year that will be covered with berries, and I'll prune all these back. Once we pick all the berries off, I'll cut them all back and new stuff will come out, and bam, we'll be doing great. So I'm going to pick a bunch of these blackberries right now and go in the house and have me some cereal. And there's a few of them I grabbed this morning already. And then I'm going to bring Sheila out here and have her pick some more tomatoes, because we got tomatoes hanging everywhere. One other little tomato tip, but I did want to answer that brown branch question. Somebody had asked me that. I have no idea why they turn brown like that, but I cut them right off. I cut them right off right next to the stalk, and they all of a sudden, whatever's left starts blooming and doing good. So cut off everything that's brown, and even though the plant doesn't look uniformly round like it used to look, it looks like almost like a corn stalk with tomatoes growing on it. Go ahead and do it, because it keeps right on putting out. So, but now I forgot what I was even going to say. But the nice thing about this is you get a chance to get out and just putz and see what's new every day in the garden, and it's just awesome. It is just awesome. If you get a lot of these tomatoes and you start getting too many, that's what I was going to say, core them out. I'll pick one green here because they do good too. Just cut that little core out of there, lay them on a cookie sheet and put them in the freezer till they're frozen, then put them in a Ziploc bag and freeze them up. When you're ready to use them, bring them out, and this is the coolest part. I hate blanching tomatoes and then peeling the skin off, but if you'll freeze that tomato red after you core it and put it in there, freeze it solid, take it out and just run it under the sink under warm water, and that skin just pops right off the whole outside. It's just like, I don't know, like pulling a sock off your foot. It just slips right off. You can do one right after another, so that's the slickest way. Because I made some soup the other day and I didn't even pull the skin off. I just cubed them up and kind of made some stewed tomatoes, and all them little wrinkly skins were in there, and I didn't care for that. So freeze them and then take them out and then just put them under cold or hot water in the sink, and man, that outside skin will pop right off, and then you can cube them up for soups or salsa or whatever. But anyway, that's my little handy dandy tip, and I'm going to pick some blackberries because they are hanging in droves here. Talk to you soon. Bye bye.